What is the most disturbing or creepy thing that you've ever witnessed in real life? I'm a paramedic and have been for about 10 years now, and I've seen a lot of disturbing things, but one thing sticks out to me more than the rest. When I was still new, I went on a call for flu-like symptoms, and the elderly lady literally had just fever, body aches, and a cough with no other complaints, so we are all thinking she might actually have the flu. She wanted to go to the hospital, so we got her on the cot, and the design of her ground floor apartment with all her furniture made it impossible to turn the cot around. So we had to wheel her out backwards with me at her feet and staring at her face. We just get out the door when she lets out this horrible gurgle scream, turns gray and slumped over. My partner and another firefighter were next to her head and confirmed she had no pulse. We are close to the truck, so we load her up while I start CPR. As I start pumping her chest, she goes from this blank stare of the dead to looking right at me with this confused look on her face and started moving her arms trying to get me to stop. So I do. Instantly, she was back to dead again, complete with blank stare and no movement. This time, the three of us all confirmed no pulse, and so I continue CPR, and she starts looking up at me again with that same confused look and moving her arms around again. Now I'm thinking this has got to be a mistake. She can't be dead and moving while I do CPR. Can she? I stop, check, still dead with no pulse. Resumed CPR, and yes, again, she was looking up right at my eyes, moving again, so weirded out as I just started talking to her to try to let her know why I was doing CPR on her as my partner got the cardiac monitor defibrillator pad stuck on her. When I stopped for the rhythm check, she was in ventricular fibrillation. A single shock, and we got a slow pulse back. Started the cardiac monitor's pacing function, and while she never regained consciousness, we got her to the hospital alive. Found out later she ultimately died at the hospital, but I'll never forget that look on her face while we made eye contact while I did CPR on her. I had no idea that could happen, but the doctor in the ER told me that if CPR is started quickly enough and the compressions are deep enough, you actually can remain somewhat conscious during it even if your heart is otherwise not beating. Has happened to me a handful of times since then, and so I always talk to my dead patients now while we're doing CPR, just in case.